Hello. Okay. Good morning. So today we are going to do practical on models like the LPM, Logit, and Probit. So we have a data set with us. So I will first open my data set. So as we have all learned, we should first save our data set with some other name. Yes. So I will save it in a particular folder. Yes. Then, as we have learned, we should be opening a new log file. So, we should give the same name, just in the place of, we should change the DTA format. Yes. Now, I will open a model do file from which we will do our practice. Okay. So the particular data set we have, we will first we need to see how the data is described. So we will do a D command. Uh, so as we can see that it is a data on health related statistics, and and we have the data on the basis of household, the place where the patient lives, and the gender of the patient, the religion, and such other things, the age, race, and such other things. So we will check on the basis of these explanatory variables how the health of a person can be determined or can be affected. So first we will start with an LPM model. So, in an LPM model, we know that the probability itself is modeled as a linear function. So, it is pi equals to alpha plus beta xi, where pi is the probability that the dependent variable can lie will be equal to 1. So, first we will do tab heart attack. Uh, okay, 1 minute. I think the name is a little okay. Tab heart attack. Okay. So we have it like a binary variable in the 0 1 format. Then we will do tab sex. So it is male female, again it is a binary category. Now we will try to do a regression. Okay, so it will be a regression of the variable heart attack, which will be our dependent variable, and our independent variables here will be age and sex. As we can, so now we will try to analyze the results. As we can see that it is an overall significant model, and all of our independent variables are also significant. Okay. So as we can see, in the case of age, as the age increases, the probability of heart attack also increases, because here pi1 is yes. As you can see here, heart attack 1 equals to yes. Look at my cursor. And here, LPM models the probability of pi equals to 1. So as age increases, then the probability of the person being having an heart attack, that also increases. So in the case of gender, so here female has been considered to be the base category. So compared to male, if the candidate or if the individual is female, then the probability of having a heart attack decreases. So we can see that here, and both of them are uh, very significant variables. Okay. Uh, then we will add another variable which will be BMI, and in the case of in the place of sex we can also write female. So we will see how it works if we write female. Okay. So female is I think another variable which is in our data, and female is I think 1 equals to female, 0 equals to male. Yeah, female is another variable in our data, so we can also use female in the case of in the place of I dot 6. Okay. So, in this case, as we can see, the model is overall significant, obviously, and the R square is 0.004. Adjusted R square is 0.04 also, 0.05 actually, if we round it off. So, in the case of age, as we can see, the result remains the coefficient value is nearly same. So, in the case of age, as we can see, that as the age of the person increases, the probability that the person will be having a heart attack, that also increases. In the case of BMI, that with an increase in BMI, the probability of the person having a heart attack also increases. So, but in the case of female, it is negative. So we can say that compared to male, if the individual is female, then the probability that the person will have a heart attack, that decreases. So here we know female, the value for female is given because the male is considered to be a reference category, or the result of the male, we will find it in the constant itself. We don't need a different variable for that. Then we will have a dummy variable trap, which is a different issue to talk about. So when we analyze any such dummy variables, we say like this, that compared to the other category, if the category is what is given, what is it is female, then the probability of a heart attack having a heart attack decreases because it is in negative. Okay. Acha. So after that we will do a heteroscedasticity test. So as we know in LPM model, we can solve this and show also that if we solve for the variance, then the variance of the error term is not constant. The variance of the error term is dependent on xi. So we will do a head test and we will see how it works. Okay. So our H naught here is constant variance. So our H naught is, it is homoscedastic, but our p value is 0.00, so which means we reject our H naught, we reject the hypothesis that it is homoscedastic, which means it is heteroscedastic. Now we know how to make something homoscedastic from heteroscedastic, or how to work with the data that is heteroscedastic. That is, we do a robust test. So we will just do the same regression and we will just write robust with it. Okay. So when we do robust, so after that we see that BMI is no more significant. Okay. So BMI is not very good at explaining the reason for heart attacks. The model is overall significant. The R square is 0.04. Okay. Mm, so now we will predict one variable, which is y hat 1. So we are going to predict y hat 1. I don't know what is y hat 1 as of now. I think it is the, yeah, it is the fitted values of the y. Okay, it is what will be the y values according to the regression, and the difference of this y values and the actual y values is our residual. This is that y values. Okay, so now we will try to do a graph on this. So we'll do a scatter plot. So we'll write the two-way lfit command. Okay. So I hit one H2A lfit. Since it is an LPM line, so it will be linear obviously, and it will look like this. It should run between 0 and 1 ideally, because we are fitting probabilities here. But see, in the regression it is not lying between 0 and 1. Okay. So as you can see, it is not in the bounds of 0 and 1. So that is the limitation of LPM that we have learned, and also the heteroscedasticity limitation. These two are the are some of the main limitations of LPM. Okay. So now after that, we will see that how many of this y hat are greater than 1, and how many of this y hat, how many of this predicted values are less than 0. And that means how many of these values do not lie in the bounds of 0 and 1, like ideally a probability should lie. Okay. So we can do that, or we can just do tab y hat also. Oh no, sorry, not tab y hat. Uh, what? Sum y hat. Wait 1 minute. I need to do set mode off. Huh. So okay. So now we will do sum y hat. Eh? Okay. Sum y hat 1 detail. Not this one. There was something else. I don't remember. If not, wait. It should have been tab only. I don't know why tab is not working. Okay, because there are many different values. That's why. Okay, fine. We will do count if only. Count if y hat 1 greater than 1, and count if y hat 1 less than 0. Abe. Oh no, what is happening? Wait. Okay. Sorry. Count if there is a gap. Sorry. Ah. Okay. Now let's see less than 0. So there are many numbers less than 0, but not much greater than 1. Also, we can see that in the graph also. That greater than 1, there isn't much number. I think just the line is going that way, but there isn't much numbers greater than 1. But less than 0, we have a lot of numbers. Okay. So then we will do this command. There was some particular way of doing this command by going to by clicking something. You don't need to type this big command. I don't remember that actually. This is actually how the zero values and the y values are, are placed in the. through data, and this line is how we have fitted it actually. So as you see na, when you have zoomed in, there isn't anything above 1, but below 0 there are some. Yes. So now we are done with LPM. Next we are going to do logit. Bye bye. Thank you friends. Please subscribe.